So here we are again. Now you might have noticed that yesterday's video has disappeared from the YouTubes. And that is of course because of the leaked Battlefield Hardline trailer that most of you have already seen by now. And in yesterday's video I showed some screenshots of the trailer, and a good friend of mine acquired some super secret insider info, saying that EA wasn't all that happy with people uploading and showing people clips and screenshots and all that good stuff from that dear leaked trailer. So I pulled the video immediately after being online for an hour or so, and then I started to make this one right here, right now, that you fellas are looking at this very moment. Isn't that something? So, in this video, I'll be talking about Battlefield Hardline, the very next-gen, ultra-swagalicious Battlefield that is going to be coming out this year, letting you know about the latest developments and news along with my take on it, and I'll show you a couple of screenies, but not from the trailer, so that everyone can keep a smile on their face and we all stay informed at the end of the day. So let's start off with a brief recap of yesterday's news regarding the super secret trailer that leaked. Now, I've got some updates on that trailer, by the way. In yesterday's video, I said that the trailer looked very odd and not very finished, along with some of the weapons and game sounds. It also had the project name OMAHA instead of the actual Hardline title. Now, the reason for that is because OMAHA was like a placeholder name, like a project name that you would give a super secret project, such as the new Battlefield game. The trailer is about 6 months old now. That has officially been said by people behind Battlefield Hardline. And I presume it was some kind of demo trailer to show off the big corporate man, so he would say, "Yes, it is worth putting my money in. Go ahead, son, I will allow you the funding to make your video game thing." Now, is this gonna make me rich or not? This is gonna make me a shit ton of money, right? So that might explain the fact that the trailer looked a bit bare bones, a bit minimalistic in terms of visuals and presentation, as well as the fact that some of the weapons, the weapon sounds and customization menu were an exact copy of Battlefield 4. Not kidding, even the knife animation looked exactly the same, so that got me a little worried, to be honest. But now that they have confirmed that this trailer is indeed about 6 months old and a demo for the real one that will be revealed at E3, that has restored some of my doubts that I had about this game. However, I will remain skeptical until I have seen the real deal. Now let's go over some of the new game modes that they announced in the trailer. Now keep in mind, folks, because this was a demo trailer, the following game modes might not be the only ones in game. They might be adding some along the way. So let's start off with the first one that they showed, Heist Mode, a game mode where you as a criminal have to try and get away with your big heist score, and the opposing cop team will have to try and stop you. Now from the looks of it, and the way they explain this in the trailer, this game mode might just be a rebranded Rush Mode, where you have to advance through various locations of a map. Now the next game mode is Rescue Mode, where you as a SWAT team need to go in and retrieve the hostages from a bank heist gone wrong, unfortunately. I presume the enemy here will be played by the criminals, who will have to not let the cops reach the hostages. Makes sense, right? It's very similar to the classic Protect the President game mode. Up next, we have Haywyre. Now, this game mode is heavily focused on vehicles and high-speed chases. Now, in the trailer, they described it as cops chasing criminals over huge open environments, so sort of like a death race situation. People who have seen the movie will know what I'm talking about, and for those of you who haven't seen it, only stick to watching the first one. Don't even acknowledge that the second one even existed. Just don't. And the very last game mode that they announced is called Blood Money, where cops and criminals fight over one big pile of cash that they both will have to try and get back to their base in order to secure it. Very similar to the game mode we all know as Capture the Flag. So there we go, those were all of the game modes that are announced so far. I can imagine that they will, of course, include the classics, such as TDM, and maybe even some Domination. That would be nice, that would fit in well with the whole close quarter thing. They also confirmed that there will be Levolution in the game, along with lots and lots of destruction, which to be honest didn't look all that impressive in a trailer. But again guys, it was basically a tech demo that we saw, so we can't really judge a book on its leaked, messy cover. Or can we? There will be grappling hooks, big-ass harpoons, and a crossbow in the game. Freaking crossbow people, jeez. Along with all sorts of fancy gadgets. But I'll cover the entire weapon and gadget arsenal in a separate video for you folks, so don't worry about that. What I can say though is that most of the attachments for the weapons that will be in Hardline are already in Battlefield 4, if I can believe the images that have been leaked. So I'm a tiny bit bit disappointed about that. That probably didn't make sense at all. By the way, for those of you who are confused on whether Visceral is making the entire game yes or no, the Visceral dev team is working on the single-player campaign exclusively, and DICE will be taking over the multiplayer part, much like in Medal of Honor Warfighter. A Battlefield Hardline will of course still look all sexy and smooth on the Frostbite 3 engine, and looking at some of the early leaked single-player footage, it does look a tiny bit improved. It really does, yes, visually. It's nothing compared like the transition from Battlefield 3 to 4, but you can definitely see some nice effects being added in there. Now, I really hope, and I think I'm speaking for everyone here, I really hope that they're able to sort out the problems that they've been having with the Frostbite 3 engine. All of the network and netcode problems that we are still experiencing in Battlefield 4, to be specific. I hope the current CTE servers on Battlefield 4 will make sure of that, and by the time they release Battlefield Hardline, I hope to see just a shiny, new, refreshing product that will keep all of us happily entertained until we get our greasy little palms on Battlefront. Battlefield Hardline will be revealed in a few days at E3 on June the 9th, and the final game will be released in the fall of this year. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. Stick around for more coverage of Battlefield Hardline, and make sure you prep that pretty little face of yours for all kinds of loving. I'm Dolce, and I'll see you in the next video.